warnings in place across the northern half of the UK. Heavy rain and strong winds are forecast for much of the country over the next 36 hours. Energy companies are putting extra staff on standby in case of power cuts.
Become a weather watcher with one of the Watson wireless weather stations.
Hello once again, and thank you for joining me on the Waters and Stanton video channel. You know, a range of products that we've been doing for many years have been weather stations. Now, weather stations have all sorts of applications. From an amateur radio point of view, of course, it's handy to be able to say what the temperature is and perhaps talk about what the weather is and what it's going to be, because some of these weather stations will actually predict the weather. There's an algorithm built into them, and they base that on the change of pressure, and it gives a fairly accurate prediction. I've got one of the Watson 8683s, and I've had it for several years now. And if it says it's going to rain, the chances are it's going to rain. And if it's going to be cloudy or sunshine, it's pretty accurate, so it's quite handy. But I want to introduce you to some of the weather stations we do. We do some really sort of budget price ones, and you can go up to the other end of the scale, of course, whether you want to have wind and rain or you just want to know what the temperature is outside, this sort of thing. And perhaps you want a clock that sits on the top of your radio and tells you not only what the time is, what the temperature is outside and inside, of course. So let's take a look at some of the weather stations that we have on offer.
In simple terms, a wireless weather station comprises a weatherproof outdoor sensor feeding a monitor indoors. The Watson W8684 is a wireless connected monitor. It measures inside and outside temperature and can be set to either Celsius or Fahrenheit. It also has a little built-in clock, which again can be set to 12 hours or 24 hours. It's ideal as a desktop clock for ham radio, also for reporting the local temperature during a QSO. The unit is powered by a pair of AA cells which should last for well over a year, and there's a convenient desk stand. The unit's not showing the outside temperature because I haven't powered up the external sensor. And here we see the external sensor. It has a backplate clip which can be mounted on a fence or a wall. To power the unit you need to remove the back cover with a screwdriver, and it takes a pair of AAA cells. Now let's have a look at the Watson W8683, one of our most successful weather stations. This actually acts as a weather forecaster and will tell you what the weather is like and what we can expect in the next 24 hours or so. The Watson W8683 also offers a radio-controlled clock and date, so both of those are always exactly right. Setting up is easy. The main LCD display requires 3 AA cells, and these are inserted in the rear panel. Likewise, the remote sensor also requires AA cells, in this case 2 cells, and again inserted in the rear panel. The remote sensor can be mounted using the supplied screw, or alternatively using the tie wrap, which enables it to be hung in any convenient position. Once the batteries are inserted, both units become live, and you need to wait around 3 minutes before the 2 units talk to each other, and that's indicated by the fact that the main LCD display will indicate the outside temperature. Now let's take a look at the LCD display itself and see what information it actually gives you. We'll start at the top left. The top left is the time, and that is either 12 hours or 24 hours. And as we said earlier, that is locked to a radio signal, so it's always very accurate. Then we have the date. Then below that we have the indoor humidity on the left and the indoor temperature on the right, and the temperature can be either set to Fahrenheit or Celsius. Below that we have the outside information. On the left hand side again is the outside humidity, and on the right hand side the outside temperature. Below that we have an indication of what the weather is at the moment and what it's likely to be, and it really gives you a trend, and the indicators will show rain, sunshine, cloud, storm, etc., etc. And then immediately below that is the barometric pressure, and you can adjust this for your own locality so that the reference point is very accurate. And then finally below that we've got a history of the pressure over a period of time, and you can see that you've got some bars there, and that will indicate whether the pressure's falling or whether the pressure's rising and what the general indication is over a period of time. There are also some additional features. There's a snooze control which works in conjunction with the alarm, and that alarm can also be used to indicate either a high or low temperature. There's a backlight as well for use in the dark. And finally, you can also find out the minimum and maximum temperatures recorded over a period of time.
Now, if you're looking for a weather station which gives you details of wind, wind speed, rainfall, etc., then take a look at our Watson W8682 Mark II. It's great value, just £69. Take a look. I'll put a link below this video so that you can look at it on our website. So let's just summarise the weather stations that Waters and Stanton have on offer.
The Watson W8684 is £14.95. The Watson W8683, which is a great present, is just £22.95. There's more weather stations on our website, so take a look and see our comprehensive range.
So there we are. That's the range of weather stations we do, and I would encourage you to have a browse around on our website and look at the various specifications, because they're quite comprehensive, some of the weather stations. I hope it's been of interest to you. We can't control the weather, unfortunately, but we can at least help you to know what's coming, and that sometimes is rather important. And in terms of what's coming, our next video will be possibly delayed because I'm off to Scotland in the next week. I've got to go up to Scotland in the Highlands, unfortunately. Well, I say unfortunately, it's a lovely place, but it's a long trip. It's about 11 hours drive from here. So I shall be away next week in the Highlands. I'll try and do some ham radio activity, and if I can make a video of it, then I will make a video of it. So please bear in mind that there may be a week before the next video, but we shall be back, rest assured of that. In the meantime, thanks for your support. You take care, and don't forget to have a browse around our website and give our guys a ring down at Portsmouth, and they'll be happy to do a deal, I'm sure. In the meantime, take care. See you in the next video.